Jung?
I think the purpose of this is, just to Kiwi dudes that know Kiwi business, talking about business, in a real context, without all the jargon, without all the guru shit, disruption, innovation, pivoting, fucking ebooks and all that kind of stuff, and just having a real down-to-earth yarn about real business.
I think there's a real need within this group, but within the greater business community, for some like Jung says, some solid business advice without all the crap, without all the needing to chuck your email in and get a bloody blah 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 and all of the stuff that people, these people are doing out there in business. We just want to be real, so we kind of just wanted to use a bit of a platform to address that and try and have a bit of fun while we do that. Yeah.
Who's got some good yarns about real business? The real challenges. And I love Cam's comment. Steady sales wise, it has taken some creativity to do so.
Yeah, I like it.
And that's true pre-lockdown, COVID, no COVID, recession, boom, bounce phase, whatever you want to, like, you need to stay relevant. Like, so tonight, 5:30, I'm kind of maybe getting ready for dinner or whatever, kind of, trying to turn the laptop off. And my barber calls me. Like, hey, I know there's been massive queues, and I know, you've been wanting to get a haircut and all that kind of stuff. So do you want to come in now? I'll stay open late.
Oh, is that why you're looking so sharp?
Oh, so I wake up like this.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, see, that's creativity, but that's relevance.
Fuck all of the process stuff you've been trying to work on and all the rest of it. Client focused. You can figure it out. You can work a bit harder. Deliver massive value. That's kind of the perspective of us coming on a Tuesday night. So kind of lock it in. It'll be 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night.
Okay. Welcome to the show, everybody. Tonight we're jamming about hiring, firing, performance managing. So kind of the
you can't say fire, can you?
Restructuring.
Because we're in this PC world these days.
Yeah, restructuring. So it's kind of a more tactical thing around the management. I would kind of say the management of team and culture and organizational development and HR. Say what's up in the comments. Really quite keen to kind of hear from the audience, how's business going? And then obviously, keen to hear your thoughts on the conversation too. What are your experiences with hiring, managing, and retiring, shall we say?
Outsourcing.
What are some of the challenges you've had? What are some of the issues you've had? What are some of the solutions that you've had and whatnot? But we've got a couple of good questions that we kind of want to jump into today as well. So over to you, Nick.
Yo, yeah, man. I really think that this is a topic that we can go quite deep on tonight. I employed people personally for 10 years in my own operation, and prior to that, I was in charge. I wasn't a recruiter, but I was in charge of recruiting my own sales teams. So I really feel like I can offer a lot of real world perspective on this topic. It's a tough one, man. Small businesses, we bust our asses, and the laws are really written in the advantage of the employee for the most part, and it can be very stressful when you're when sometimes your employees are taking more out of the business or more home at the end of the week than you're putting in your own pocket. That can be a tough one. But I think the flip side of that is that we really need to look at our our team as, I really hate the word staff. Staff is kind of, for me, it's a real, we're not equals when you look at people as a staff member, where I really feel like team or a team of talent, that's such a far more powerful space for us to come from, with the people that work with us and towards our common goal of running and growing a business. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah, what's up? There's 18 people on. So who's on? Say g'day. Keen to hear from you guys before we dig too deep. But
Oh, look, and I'm keen just from a quick bit of a quick market research kind of perspective. If anyone wants to share, how's business going out there?
yeah,
My feel of it in the market is kind of most people, unless you're in the seriously affected industries like tourism and hospitality, maybe, most business owners that I talk to are kind of, if not back to normal, busier than they've ever been. So yeah, it'd be kind of good to hear your guys' thoughts on it.
yeah. Look, so I guess while we're there, we'll kick the topic off. So interviewing and hiring team members, I think, is it's a great place for us to start, because number one, before you even consider hiring or interviewing or anything like that, it's like really got to understand what it is that your intention is for bringing another person into your business, what the outcome is. Because if you kind of haven't really put together a job description, a role, and the things that you need that person to fulfill within the business, what's going to happen, especially if you're growing and you're a busy business, they're going to come in and they're not going to really get your culture straight away, and they're going to be probably given a whole bunch of work, just do this, do that, and they're going to learn on their feet really, really quickly. The challenge you've got is that as the business grows and grows and grows, you're always going to be trying to plug holes in the bucket, so to speak. So one of the key things that we talk about whenever we, anyone's looking about to grow and scale a business or to start employing people is like, okay, great. So what are the things that you need this person to be doing? And I talked about this the other week, that whole traffic light system where, grab a whiteboard, and throughout the day, throughout your week, just traffic light, red, orange and green, things that you love to do, things that you're not so hot on, and things that you absolutely hate to do, because that will start to give you an idea of the role of someone that you need to put in. And as well as that, if you're seeing a lot of maybe admin tasks that are coming up, then maybe you need to hire someone who has the skill set and who actually enjoys that type of work. Yeah, Jung, what are your thoughts on that, mate?
Yeah, I think for me, I think these topics tonight are quite specific and quite tactical. And I think for me as a business coach, I struggle to kind of get down there without having a live client in front of me that I kind of have a little bit of context and history on. But I agree with the traffic light system. But I think I agree with I come right back to people like, oh, I'm so fucking busy. I'm doing the sales, I'm doing the finance, I'm doing
the marketing,
the operational part of the business, the marketing, doing everything, and then they try and chuck people at it, and there's a saying, even in corporate world, man, people don't always fix problems. So, where I go to is, man, right back to the top, man. What's the goals of the business? What's the goals of the founder, right? Because a lot of us are small business owners. What's your goals? Do you want to work 4 hours, 4 days a week? Or do you, are you open to doing the 60, 80-hour weeks? And you want to, be the biggest, baddest brand in your market or your industry. So, I go right back up to goals. And then once you got your goals, then it's vision, mission, purpose. Even as a small business, you need an understanding of those types of things. And that'll lead into the kind of, and that's, I hate the word staff too, man. Like, what the hell does that mean? You might as well call them subordinates.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's got that hierarchical.
Right. And it sort of sets that tone of you're going to be telling them what to do all the time, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. Whereas I think if you love what you do, and this is the way I coach, you've got to love what you do. Because if you love what you do, man, you value the fuck out of this team, right? And they're more like family. Because, you're asking them to help you achieve your dreams, your goals, your visions. And so you appreciate the shit out of them. And when it comes down to it, all the leadership training that I've been on and that I've done, it's about care. You just got to care, and you care more when you care about the mission. And you are asking people, whether explicitly or implicitly, to care about the mission too, man. And, I think there's another inherent thing. If you think about Drive, great leadership book, they talk about, look, man, we all get up and inherently want to do the best work we can today. And so we should honor that, I think. So that's my take on it. But tactically, I think some people just want to put an ad up on Seek or Trade Me or wherever you recruit from. Right. Talk to a recruiter, and trying to get a person in to fix the problem. Oh, I don't have enough time for sales. I don't like sales. Oh, we'll go and hire a salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the long term or mid-term, even like, you know, over a year or 2 years, that approach to it hardly ever works in my experience.
Yeah, look, I'm keen to talk a little bit on company culture before we dig too much into strategically, you know, how to interview and how to hire and those types of things, because I really feel like, you know, that company culture, it's got to come from the leader, it's got to come from the business owner, and they've really got to drive. Even if it's just you yourself, or you and your wife or your husband, or you and a business partner, you know, you've got to drive from the top. You've got to drive the outcomes of the business, the product, the relationships you create, and you've got to drive the energy with which you bring to the business. Because people are going to feel that the minute they walk in the door.
And yeah, 100 million percent, man. You know, and that's the thing. You know, again, if this comes from your gut, if this comes from your heart, deep down inside, like shit, they're just gonna feel that. You know, it's like a customer service person or hospitality person helping you out, and you know, they're just there for the money, and you can feel it. You just feel it in their tone, their body language, the way they throw the plate on the table, you know, whatever it is. And the opposite is true too. When you give a fuck, when you give a lot of fucks, that comes through, man. And we all know that customer experience or you know, customer satisfaction hits the bottom line eventually. You know, and so again, man, do what you love, build a team that you love, and that ideally love what you do, right? And your vision, your goals, your mission, your purpose is aligned to their personal vision, goals, mission, purpose, right? And just build a great team. And that's the thing about culture. You know, I always use the All Blacks as an example because they're the fucking best performing team in the world ever, you know, specifically in sports, but arguably just teams in general.
Actually, they're the most winning team for the number of 100%. Starts that they've ever had. There's no other team in any other league, in any other type of sport, that wins as much as the All Blacks. So
100%, man. I think in 2018, when I heard the stats, it was something like 86%.
87, yeah.
87. That's stupid. Like, which sports team in the world has ever kind of performed like that? That's
unreal,
crazy,
hey?
Right? Yeah.
So look, I think
the fuck's going on with your hair, brother?
What do you mean? What's wrong with me? Hey, bro, I'm growing this shit, man.
I'm gonna show you. Where did you get your inspiration for your haircut from, bro?
What haircut? I've had one haircut since lockdown, mate. Haircuts are for pussies.
You look like that. If anyone knows these things...
I'm going for the Hasselhoff, mate. That's what I'm up to.
You know he's not cool, right?
Yeah, he is. What are you talking about? Someone on here, get on here and give me some hearts.
You do that.
Everyone knows the Hoff is a man.
Are you asking for hearts for your hair? This dude, bro. You've been watching too much TikTok, bro.
I don't even know I have TikTok, man.
They call them Caesar haircuts. You know, like Julius Caesar?
Yeah. Good. I'll go with that.
Yeah. I just fucked up your train of thought, eh?
No, not at all.
Off you go, Caesar.
Not at all, mate.
Off you go.
You throw some shade. That's all good. Have you had? Well, you probably had 3 haircuts this week, eh?
Oh, mate. Yeah. My barber calls me, man. Shit. He's like, hey, where are you? Due for a haircut.
Could do something.
Don't want you looking like them CrossFit dudes, all fucking shaggy and Caesar, all Caesared up.
Yeah, love it. Well, no, actually, I grew it because that way when I'm doing handstand push-ups, I'm closer to the floor already. You see? The hack. Can you do those?
See, CrossFit's kind of like year 12 maths. Eh? Like when the fuck do you actually use that?
Oh,
okay,
man.
we're going way off.
I just did a workout you'd really like. It was heaps of deadlifts. So there you go. Anyways, right. So understand we've had a good chat. We get culture. We understand our responsibility as the leader to instill the culture within the business, right?
100 million %. 100 million %. You've got
Cool.
You've only got really 3 jobs that you must do, and culture's one of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
so
here we go, Sarah.
Yeah. So
we've got a comment when you're ready.
Yep. So culture, right? Number 1, culture. We've got the culture now. Okay. We've also taken the time to figure out, this business is growing. There are things that need to be done that just aren't getting done because we're growing and scaling. And I know what the the tasks that I need this person within the role to complete. And if those tasks were completed, that would allow the business to go forward, and it would allow me to focus on the things that I'm doing, which I'm really, really good at, which is, each business owner is going to be different, but it could be marketing, it could be sales, whatever it is. So now we need to think about an interviewing strategy, a process. And it does, you sort of mentioned before about putting an ad out on Seek or Trade Me or wherever you put it. I believe that even the ad that you put out has so much to do with putting your company culture and the expectancy of the applicant. When I used to hire for a wheel alignment person, I didn't say wheel alignment technician. I said wheel alignment superstar. Just a little bit of a reframe on that, because someone who's just your average blog isn't going to relate to superstar. That makes sense? Yeah. So it could be sales. I'm looking for a sales, a closer, or I'm looking for a hunter, or I'm looking for, again, it's the language that fits with the culture with your business, or I'm looking for a performer. But you really want to think about that, because you actually want to turn off those that just submit 100 CVs to every business, because you don't want that. You want someone, I'm listening to an amazing ebook right now, Audible. And, he talks about you want a 10 out of 10 is going to grow your business, not an 8 or a 7 or in terms of talent, in terms of their ability to execute. So the process that you use for advertising in the first place. The second thing within your copy, I really feel is important that you get across your company culture. The thing that the thing that explains what your business is about. Not just about we sell widgets, but we sell widgets and we have an epic time doing it. What up, Jamie? What up, Sarah? What up, Marilyn, Ryan, Wayne, Josh? Here we go.
How's business, right? I want to ask these dudes, how's business? What's your experience with team? All your bad experiences with team. Let's talk about those, right, in this conversation, because again, sharing that with other business owners helps other business owners avoid those pains and those pitfalls. And I'm sure, we all want to help other business owners avoid those. So yeah, I'm keen on those. And we'll jump to Sarah Ferguson's comment, but Jamie Smith's comment is probably going to get the number one award tonight. He likes my Christmas jumper.
What about this, man?
What is that? H-Town. Looks like a CrossFit thing. Looks like someone who's trying to be cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
From Hamilton, bro. It's Hamilton, bro. Jamie's from Hamilton. He loved this. Look.
Yeah.
Oh, where am I going? H-Town Throwdown. It was an event that I did in Hamilton.
What the fuck is happening right now?
I don't know, man.
Is it one of those shows? Fuck,
no, we're good. We're good.
I didn't sign up for that shit.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Okay, I'm gonna go to Sarah's comment now.
Yeah, do it.
I used to work for an amazing entrepreneur who preferred to hire people who had competed at a high level of sport. Apparently, they know how to perform under pressure. Love it, Sarah. And yeah, so now you're kind of going to the interview thing. Can I drop in two things? First thing is, fuck, man, I think so many people just, they forget, and you'll know where I'm coming from, Sarah, that, we know how to do an avatar. We know how to have a bit of a brand and branding and key messaging when we're marketing for prospects and leads.
Same thing here, right?
Right. And the dynamic of that is trying to bring humans, right, into our world so that we create a mutually beneficial relationship. But fuck, when we go to team, it's like, hi, I need a sales rep. 80K plus car plus laptop.
Yeah. Turn up, sell shit.
Turn up, sell shit. And it's like, wait, so you put in all that effort and focus and energy and care into marketing, but when you're bringing in people that are they kind of touch the business.
You're sizzling for your customers, but not for your employees.
Right, but when you're hiring staff, or subordinates, you don't give as much of that higher level of care, right? And that's the thing. You need a brand, right? That's where you're kind of going with it, man. You need a brand. You need to know, right? And it's like the Biz Shiz. Like, so much is implied when you see Biz Shiz. It's like, wow, they didn't say business and they didn't say stuff. They say business shit, and then, oh shit. And then it's like this funky purple thing. And so you got to have a brand, right? And you're right, because essentially, whether they're leads and prospects and customers and clients, or their team or family members, really what you're trying to do is you're trying to bring them into their world, into your world, where together we can achieve our mutual goals. And that's what we're trying to do. And so you need to start that dynamic the same way, man.
So I'm going to go back to strategy for a second. One of the tactics that we took with Platinum Wheels was we actually I interviewed all of the current staff about what they enjoy about the job, right, on a video,
dialogue,
and then we cut the video into highlights, sound bites of what each employee enjoyed about the job. And man, I tell you, we ran that on Facebook, and I mean, inundated with people applying, wanting to work with us. We're looking for a mechanic or a salesperson or something. I can't quite remember, but because we're, it's great. Some days you'll get a V8, and other days you'll get this, and it's always different and varied. And people loved what we were talking about within the job. Now, that created the sizzle, exactly like what Jung was talking about there, by having the application process actually make the jobs appealing to someone. Because culture-wise, if your job is the same as the next job or the next job, they're only going to stay for the money, and that's a real hard place to be. And there's a question we're going to touch on a little bit later, which is a really, really awesome opportunity, but also awesome challenge that this lady's having within her business. So number one. So number two is, okay, how do we interview people? Because there are people out there that interview really, really, really well, but then they suck when they actually get to the job. I feel it's more of an attitude test than it is about an aptitude test when you're doing an interview. So I really want to try to ask questions that are going to almost they're not expecting, out of the blue type things, because then all of a sudden when there's a little bit of pressure on, you can see how they think, and do they stop and actually calculate it, or do they do they just rabbit off something, and do they get flustered? Because that's what's going to happen when they're in front of one of your customers. One of my favorite strategies was at the end of the interview, I'd always give them the pen and say, sell me this pen, when I was hiring a salesperson, and I tell you, it's really interesting to see how people handle that, because they're not expecting that within the thing. So, Jung, have you got anything on interviewing process that you've dealt with the people you've worked with over the years?
Yeah, look, and I'm going to go back to Sarah's question, right? Because again, look, and that's just how I am. I'm not tactical. I call these tactics. They're tactics. They're interview tactics. Yep. They're interview strategies, but because they're within an interview, I call them tactical. And it's just so situational. You know what I mean? There's so many variables of whether this tactic actually is relevant and therefore effective or not. So yeah, look, the strategies I'd probably recommend is like Sarah's saying, before you even get to a job description, which is kind of here, know the brand, know the culture, know the family, know the feel of the place that you want to build, man. And then the first thing before I go to job description is, what are the characteristics of these people? Yep. And so, yeah, and that kind of leads into your strategy, your interviewing strategy, where I'm just like, what do you enjoy about life? What what are you looking for in a job? What do you have a 1-year personal goal, or do you have a 5-year personal goal?
Yeah, perfect.
How do you feel about, are you more introverted or extroverted? And I know we've got to be careful in New Zealand, because I think we can't even do litmus testing. We can't even ask them to do the thing. Well, I think you can if you pay them, right? And so there's another tactic that I'll kind of get to. Do we want to jump on some comments? But yeah, look, that's my thing, is ask the personal stuff, because yeah, you're right. It's attitude over aptitude. And you're hiring a person, man. Yeah,
there's one final thing that, and it's very, very close to what you said there, and it's just really trying to get to understand about who they are. What do you do on your weekends? Are you a family man? Do you see, and obviously, you've got to be within the bounds of the law. But it is really good to get a feel for, how this person's going to, buy into your culture based on their values, and values are really, they're like a hidden, hidden behind the face that people put on. So it's really important that you've got some ways to understand that person by asking them good questions. So you really want to think about those.
100%.
Think about those in alignment with your brand, values that we talked about at the start there. So yes, I hit those comments, bro.
No, 100,000,000% right. You're hiring a person, so get to know the person, because you want, again, you're building a family, and they're going to be serving your clients who you love too. One thing I might add to that is just, the beer test. It's just, and you do it with
the beer
clients,
test.
So I think,
Wait, you see how fast they can drink a beer?
Yeah, totally, man. That's the totally legit
boat
interviewing
races.
process in New Zealand.
Boat races, eh?
Yeah. No. But when you're getting towards the interview, you kind of be like, would I enjoy a beer with this person?
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer is fuck no, then don't hire them. Based on that, because there's so much information that obviously our eyes, our body language,
that sub-communication, right?
Yeah, all that. Yeah, right. All this other stuff that we're picking up on, and that's where go with your gut, because your gut's fucking a lot smarter than some interview questions that you googled.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah.
Undies. So do you want to hit Jamie? Hit Sarah?
We'll hit Sarah first. Yeah. Right. Look, because what I'll say about Sarah is, athletes. I think that's a good one, right? They're high performers, especially in a high performing role, like maybe they're
CrossFitters,
people. Yeah, no, don't get a CrossFitter because they look the business, but they aren't. They can't actually do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just like they'll file the paper like so many times so quickly, and then you go and check it and you're like, dude, did you file it in the right thing? And they're like, no, but I did like 100 in a minute. Yeah. Cool, bro. Cool. Okay, Jamie Smith. I missed that, Nick, as the text is in front of it. Legit. Oh, there you go. He gave you some love. Jamie Smith, back on topic. I made a bad hire recently, and it took a while to sort it out. I like to hire/poach whenever and where I can. I love that strategy. Yeah. That's a strategy. Go and poach. So by the way, Richard Branson, when he's looking to get into a new business, which he might not be doing at the moment, but because I have where Virgin's at, but he'll look for number 2 in the industry, and he'll hire the CEO to start his competitor business or his challenger brand in the industry. So I love that strategy. If you're watching your competition, then you should know the key people, and if you can pinch them, you dent them and improve you at the same time. Yeah, that's that's a little bit of a zero-sum game, bro. But
that orange level way. I love it though. Yeah.
But Jamie, that's what I love about you, Jamie. You can just see in the way you talk about your business, mate, that
Well, I do like his follow-up. He said, in terms of culture, we don't put enough work into that. And I feel like it's wishy-washy, but it's hugely important. And some business owners struggle with it, and that's me included.
100,000,000%. 100,000,000%. We all do, right?
Well, what the fuck is a culture,
Yeah. And, when you look at longevity, because, again, I'm a big fan of doing businesses that you love. And so you don't start a bakery to sell the bakery, to exit the bakery, like a lot of startup people, that's their business plan.
They're gonna sell pies, right? Yeah.
Yeah, get 1 million users and then exit and sell out. It's just, keep doing it forever. And it's like, okay, cool. What do I want this family to be like? What environment do I want people to turn up in that inherently all humans, I believe, will wake up and want to do their best work. So how can I make an environment where they can do their best work? Marilyn?
Yeah, well, so I think she's kind of following on from what Jamie said. He said they interviewed really well, and then she said, being there, and they're bloody hard to get rid of when it goes pear-shaped. And we are going to touch a little bit on, exiting and stuff like that towards.
And I love Marilyn's earlier comment too. I suppose it depends on the position, right? Because she's saying that, sports people don't always meet the technical experience. And that's what I mean about these I think they're more tactical things. They're quite situational. It depends. And if this and this and this are in place, then this tactic kind of is effective.
Right. But I still think high level, it's who is coming to the business and what do they need to fulfill for the business?
100,000,000%. Yeah. That's what I do agree with, But again, I think, the personality, the softer skills, or the softer side of things is of more importance, right? Because you want them to hang around forever. And we know that average tenure is about 2 years right now.
You can get someone for 5, you're doing pretty well these days, right?
Yeah, right. And then you want to aim for that, man. Knowing that might not be the case. Yeah, cool. So where are you at? Interviewing, hiring?
So I'm just thinking, yeah, the to cap off interviewing is moving into
Oh, hey,
hiring.
Murray Tom.
I didn't see that one. So yes.
You know Murray Tom? Murray Tom, by the way, can we just do a quick shout out to a Kiwi entrepreneur? Murray Tom started personalized plates in New Zealand.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, I think you dropped out of school, right, Murray Tom? I think I saw you do a talk at high school, which was only like a couple of years ago for me. Where you talked about your journey, and now he does the Great New Zealand Cookbook and the Great New Zealand Songbook and all that kind of cool stuff.
Oh, awesome, awesome.
He's
Yeah,
doing
actually,
cool
I have heard his name before. So, what's up, Murray? Thanks for jumping on and tuning in. It's good to have you here. I think the final thing on interviewing is just think about, really like try to be different to the other people in your, but I'll take Jamie's business, the other people in manufacturing blinds. If you really, when they sit down and interview you and they really get a feel that this company's different, I want to work here. Your retention, your whole thing, and again, it's wishy-washy, but it's gonna stick. It's gonna stick better. Quickly.
I'm gonna jump on that. Oh no, you go.
Okay, you go.
Oh look, I just want to say, hey, first off, thanks, Jamie, for sharing.
Yeah.
Because one is, look to identify talent in your competitors or that are already doing well in the industry. I might frame that another way. People that are already doing well in the industry. That's a really great strategy, I think, for all the small business owners out there that have a specific gap in the thing. And the other thing I'll say is, you're right. You're right, because I think we often forget. Oh shit, where was it going with that? What did you say?
Well, I think the context is like, those people out there, particularly in this environment, they're probably going to do quite a lot of interviews, and
different.
You want them to really go, fuck, that company seems like a place I'd actually want to go to every day.
And now we're talking USP, competitive advantage, unique value proposition.
But it flows through the whole business. It's not just about the people you're trying to sell to, but at the end of the day, you're selling.
So the thing is, what I think we forget, mate, is that we're unique. Our personality is unique. And this is something I want to try and offer you, Jamie, is, if your culture's not there, because you're focusing on the numbers, you're focusing on growing the business, all the sciencey, businessy kind of stuff. And I know you've been around long enough that you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you're starting to think about governance and things, because I think you're kind of a mid-sized business from what I can gather. You've definitely been around long enough. Dude, you got to just, bring some personality into it. Because that is your competitive advantage. That is your brand. That is your key messaging. That is your tone. It's you. And so bring that in, because no one can copy that. No one can replicate that. Like, I'd never use the fucking word like, I want to hire a sales superstar. What the hell's that, man? I want to hire a hunter motherfucker. That, he's out there to hunt and he loves the hunt. Well, she loves the hunt, and that's what I'd say. But that's just me, right? And so straight away when you see the ad, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to go see some dude that swears a bit, and you know what I mean? And he's kind of really results driven.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So just real quick, just again, because I don't want to get too tactical, but hiring team, look, talk to an HR consultant, get the processes right, do your onboarding, your contract. They've got to take it away over the weekend and read it, all that shit. You've got to do a proper, site, welcome to the site, show them around where the safety shit is, all of that. Yeah, there you go. There's the word. So you got to get that process right, particularly if you've got a...
Shows how much you value induction.
Right, paperwork. I'm allergic to it.
Likewise.
But you've got to get that bit right, especially if you're planning to put a trial period within the contract. You don't get that right and you fuck it up, you're going to end up in the employment courts, and that bit sucks. So, and there's some awesome people. There's some awesome interviews that I've done within the group here. If anyone's got any questions on that, we can jump to that. So,
no, because this is really good, right? This is really good. I don't think we need to get too tactical, but can you mention, I don't know, the couple HR people, consultants that you would recommend? Let's do a shout out to them, right? We'll plug them.
Yeah. So I did the interview with.
You don't remember?
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm just trying to remember.
You on the spot. Get on next show. He doesn't give a fuck about you.
What a dick.
Okay, cool. Well, if you do want to talk to an HR consultant, just drop a comment.
Kaz. There you go. It was just in the back of my brain. Kaz, she's HR associate. She's in our group. She's freaking awesome, and really did a lot of support for heaps of people within the group, especially during lockdown, during wage subsidy, and all of that stuff. I don't think we need to bang on too much more about that. And
can we talk about firing? Because Maryland's moved to firing.
We're doing it. Yeah, we're doing that.
We're going to call it retiring, right?
I'm going to retire you in a minute, man.
Yeah. We fucking swear too much, so we shouldn't fucking.
You swear way more than me.
I don't. Fuck, man, I'm holding back.
So relatable.
Yeah, right.
Right. Okay, hit those comments and we'll jump over.
Okay, cool. So they've moved into retiring. When it goes wrong, it's bloody hard to get rid of people, especially in New Zealand with the way employment laws are. Performance management, kind of 90 days. Verbal warning, written warning, final warning. Then cut that. I've got
HR consultant.
100%. Oh, you know who I'm going to throw a shout out to a plug to is My HR, MYHR.
Yeah.
Jason Enor, tech startup / human services business. So it's a hybrid kind of business model. Dude, they're awesome. Highly scalable, highly effective, really affordable too. I think you can start at $100 a month or 100.
Yeah, I think like anyone that is, considering taking their first employee or their 15th employee or whatever it might be, before you hire anyone, before you even get to that phase, go and spend an hour or two talking to an HR consultant, and just get that shit right before you get your contracts, all of that shit done before you hire someone, because otherwise it's going to be, you don't do it right, it's going to be a headache. And exactly as Jung says, the laws, for the most part, are written, to favor the employee. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%, 1,000,000%. Just going to touch on Donna's comment. She does some payroll for some businesses out there, and she's surprised by the number of them that don't have employment contracts.
Yeah, that's just stupid. That's
negligent. That's straight up get the fuck out of business.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're gonna fuck yourself over, your wife over, your kids over, your mortgage over, and the employees over.
It's business suicide. It's just.
Or headaches at least, or stomach ulcers at least, or 10 grand payouts, 10,000, 5-figure payouts for personal grievances because you didn't follow the process. That's one thing, right, that we can probably agree on, right? Is usually the law does give a framework, but usually it's just around following a process, and it's about familiarizing yourself as a business owner who wants to do business in New Zealand with a rough idea of that process. Whatever the invoice that someone's going to charge you for a few hours of consultation and setting up your contracts, if you're not prepared to make that investment in a business, go get a job. Yeah, I agree. I know
if you're serious about your business, if you're serious about having a business and not a hobby, not a side hustle, but you want to grow.
You got to learn these things, man. No matter what business you're in, you need to know finance, you need to know leadership, you need to know HR, you need to know marketing, you need to know sales. You don't necessarily need to do them, but you need to at least strategically understand them and be able to inspire and nurture your team to be able to execute on those effectively.
Yeah. All right, so let's move to you're fired. People still hate on that.
Like Donald Trump? No, we don't.
I don't know, man.
As a business guy, he's solid, man. He's got a solid track record. We shouldn't get into politics.
Gonna start seeing the angry faces coming through. Do we like Donald Trump? Does anybody like Donald Trump?
Yeah, true. I don't know if I don't like him as a guy. He's weird, but as a business person, he's done all right. Right?
He's a billionaire, so probably knows a thing or two. As a politician. Crikey.
Nah, not as a politician.
Kanye 2020.
Yay.
Brothers, I
yep.
love it. All right,
You'll get my vote.
So I'm going to fire Jung now. No. Okay. But look, it is obviously even just using...
Are you going to do it in my annual performance review? That's a fucking mistake that so many people do, right? It's an annual performance review. They haven't spoken to them all year. And then they raise all these issues from a month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago. It's what kind of leader, what kind of human are you that you had to wait 9 months
to tell someone they suck at their job
and then talk to me about it? Do not do that, people. That's my
so I think the first thing is about having regular communications with your people.
100,000,000%. And culture, rhythms.
We had a 5 minute every day. Just in the start of the day, 5 minutes. What's your intention for the day? Yada yada. But and that's really that culture stuff that we're talking to. That Jamie was sort of So even if you start with a rhythm of once a week on a Monday morning, you do a half an hour with the whole team. What are your challenges? What are your issues? All the rest of it. Reason being, we don't want to get to the point where we need to exit someone out of the business. At the end of the day, sometimes, as Marilyn said before, she had a hire that just wasn't a fit for the culture or just wasn't a good performer. It's something that, as a business owner, at some point, you're going to have to face. You're going to have to exit people out of your business, because a bad person within your business will do more damage to the good people within your business. And it's all of a sudden everybody's a negative Nancy because one guy's negative, and that's just it's the way it is. So obviously, again, I'm gonna before I sort of talk too much tactically, I'm gonna stress that you need to have your HR stuff in place. You need to have spoken with your HR people, have your contracts, all of that stuff in place. From a cultural fit, often, you just know someone's not a fit for the business. And, if you're good with your lines of communication, sometimes a conversation around, hey, like, are you really a fit for this? Often they will say, actually, do you know what? I'm really not. Okay, great. So how should we handle that, And, it's either they're going to say, well, actually, I do want to step it up, or they're going to say, actually, no, I don't think it's for me. Well, okay, well, how about we support you, in your journey to find another job, whatever that might be. I know that, there was a video shared by Kerwin Ray in our group a while back, and he was, he's big on saying, hey, I'm going to pay you a month's salary, just go today, So it's, and a lot of people are like, oh, you can't do that and all the rest of it. Well, if someone leaves and they're not leaving in a, because of a grievance or anything like that, that's good for you. It's good for them. Anyone that raises a PG, look, it's going to suck for you, the entrepreneur, but it's also going to suck for them, because whenever, if they spent 2-3 years working for you and then they had a grievance, and then next time they go to apply for a job, anyone says, hey, where did you work for this period? And say, well, I work for so-and-so. And then, they're going to call you and say, hey, did this person work for you? And you're going to say, look, I really can't discuss that person's employment contract or anything to do with that employment. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do as an employer is I'm going to go, ooh, why's that? So, but yes, absolutely the law is geared towards the employee, which is why I just bang on and on about getting the HR side right. But, exiting people is just something you're going to have to face. And I had, a guy that I kept for probably 18 months, a year too long. And just because I liked the guy, would I have a beer with the guy? Man, I had too many beers with the guy, and there's a real thing around that friendship / being the leader of the business. And that's a culture thing again, that knowing what I know now, I made mistakes with. But, again, we just sat down and had a good, hard, difficult for me, difficult for him conversation. And we worked together to help him to move on. And that's, that's a good way to fire someone. You can you just put anything into stuff around personal grievance, and you'll see the way that some people have dealt with it. You're a piece of shit and all that, and it just comes back to haunt you. Yeah, that's my little rant. You go.
No. Nice. I'll just throw to the audience. Do you guys have any recommendations, that you've learned in your experience around how to retire, team members that, are maybe not a great fit anymore? And that's essentially what it is. Look, it's not they're wrong, you're wrong, the business is wrong, the system's wrong. It's just there's not a great fit at that point. And so,
cultural level,
retire those. Yeah. So my tactics, actually, that first one was kind of one of them. So 2 tactics, right? First one is the 4 T's. Dr. Mike Ashby, who used to run ESP, Entrepreneurial Support Program, or something like that in New Zealand for a very long time, really, really successful. Dr. Mike Ashby, shout out to Dr. Mike Ashby. So 4 T's, right? When you've got, you're starting to feel like this team member is maybe not a great fit, you got 4 options. You either train them, right? Maybe it's a lack of training. You either transfer them, put them into another area, you either terminate them or you tolerate them. So train, transfer, terminate, or tolerate. And tolerate's not really a fucking thing. That's what
Yeah.
you did for a year, 18 months. And you're right in terms of
And
the
it
cost.
choked my business and it choked my mindset. Man, like I was always thinking, fuck, guy, you know? Go on.
Yeah. So, you know, with the tolerate. Look, I'll just echo that. It's got significant impacts, right? And if you look at the All Blacks, like,
yeah, you got.
You know, one, everyone's so strong on the culture. That's why I always use it as a perfect example of culture. One, they're going to self-select. They're going to feel like the odd person out anyway, and the team are going to put pressure on them. Not necessarily performance manage them, but just be like, hey, dude, why are you pissing around? Why are you playing on Instagram at work? What, you know, whatever.
Yep.
So just those informal things. But yeah, tolerating is not a good thing because again, it'll actually poison your culture and start to bring that culture down. But also, again, it will end up affecting your customer experience or your customer satisfaction and therefore your bottom line at the end of the day.
Yep.
And the other tactic I'll recommend, look, I agree with Kieran Ray. Look, in New Zealand, I think self-employed people, you know, business owners, small business owners anyway, you know, sometimes we're too gun shy because there's all this fucking law. We're like, oh, I don't know what to do. You know what? It's too hard. I just got to do these sales, or I just got to do the job, or get the products out. You know, so we focus on running the business because that's just an unknown, right? And so our confidence is low there. And so, how do you get more confidence? You get more knowledge. You talk to an HR person. But what I'll say for you guys now is, look, man, you know, worst case scenario, you got to get rid of them. Look, we know that, right? If they don't fit in the culture, they don't fit with the brand,
and they don't perform,
always in the culture, and they're not performing. Man, then they've got to go. Like, I'm giving you permission, you know, and I've had this conversation with a lot of my clients. They just have to go. Yeah, I know they're a nice person. I know they gave so much for you and all that kind of stuff. And you really, really care about them. And they're not going to be able to pay their mortgage and all that kind of stuff. I get it all. But man, you as founder and CEO of the business, you are the caretaker of the business.
Yep.
It's not you. It is the business. And you need to do what's best for this business. And keeping this person around is not a good thing. So you need to get rid of them. And look, if you're not, to be honest, mate, if it gets that bad and you're really not, you don't have time or resource available to kind of get HR process, you got to let them go. Worst case scenario, you got to kind of pay them out a month, 2 months, maybe 3, right? So it might cost you 10.
Still going to cost you less than a grievance, though.
Right? Well, no, and that's the thing. You might dismiss them improperly. I think Marilyn knows about HR. So and we're going to come back to these comments, right? Because they're going to share their.
Yeah, I'm going to hit those, but you finish your triple T.
Yeah. Well, this is the other tactic, is just get rid of them, man. And if it ends up being a personal grievance, it's still you're still in a better financial position or just net position overall if you got rid of them and you pay them a personal grievance. Because the cost of them being around and pulling other team members down,
that's it.
Fucking with your customer sat or your NPS or
taking your customers or whatever. Yeah,
it's just really seriously not with it. If they're not a good fit, do the right thing by yourself, the business, and their family, and let them go, retire them as quickly and as swiftly as you can, and as legally appropriately accurately.
Yeah. So, is it? I'm going to hit these comments in. Yeah. So Marilyn said the process is everything, but we often don't always get it correct. And I think she was talking about the hiring process. But yes, and she said talk to your staff regularly, like 100%. Like you know, if you're doing that regular tempo once a week, whatever it might be. Like I generally think if you've got a team of anywhere between 2 to 10 employees, weekly is an absolute must. And if you're a little bit bigger, you may go to a fortnightly, and then have sub team meetings within that. But you've got to have that consistency. And Jamie said, look, with lots of letters and meetings, probably didn't take the more direct approach. I think he was talking about how he exited the guy. Totally get it. And there is the whole, you've got to do performance management and, well, you
don't got to.
No, exactly right. That's the mindset and what HR will tell you. And so that's where a casual kind of, chat around a fit for the business first. And if they say, no, look, I really do want to, make it work, then great. Then you go into a performance management. And again, due process with your HR people to make sure that you've got it done right. And Marilyn says you need to accept that firing is stressful for stuff for both parties. Fucking A, it is. It hurts you as an entrepreneur to know, number one, and it's, I fucked up, I hired the wrong person. And that hurts. That really hurts, because it's really hard. It's really humbling to sit down and go, shit, I made a mistake as an entrepreneur, and now I've got to deal with that. And I made a mistake to this person by saying, hey, yes, come work for me, and offering him employment, and he's thinking, cool, I've got my life sorted now, or he or she, and then you've got to deal with that as well. So yep, absolutely. And then Donna said she's just hired her first ever team member last year. However, had experience in terminating clients due to cultural fit. Absolutely. Yep. And we've talked on this on a couple of our podcasts recently. It always comes up around her value of honesty. Yep. So I would look to that. Do you have you hired an honest staff member? Would be the first question I'd ask. So one question I want to just throw to Donna is, look, hey, have you got all your HR stuff in order? Did you get all that done before you hired that person? Really hope that you have, and because if you've got that and you talked about values, particularly around your value of honesty, I think that you should be in. I don't think you'll have issues, is what I'm saying. Yeah, Marilyn, 100%. It does. It hurts bad. It hurts bad. The worst thing that we can have as an entrepreneur is a bruised ego. It takes time to recover from that. And what's up to Jester who's just jumped on? So I think we've hit it all. Is there anything else you want to say on firing, exiting, or on anything we've had tonight? Anything you want to comment on the comments? Or
yeah, look, one other tactic I think I'll give, because I think we're about to wrap up, guys. So, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about or ask or whatever, throw that up in the comments now. Otherwise, we're going to start wrapping up. I think one thing I'll actually kind of mention too is, I think when I go to here's a tactic. When I have in the past, and what I recommend my clients to, when I go to approach the tough conversation, I usually give them a chance to self-select. It's like, hey, person, hey, team member, valued team member. I imagine that you're trying your best. You have good intentions here, but for whatever reason, it's just not working out. Right? How do you think it's going? How are you finding the role? How are you finding your performance? How are you finding your fit here? How are you finding the businesses or your role's ability to progress you towards your goals? So I have a consultation. I ask them questions, and I open up dialogue. And I can't remember who it was. I think Donna was saying that, or maybe Marilyn.
Yeah.
It's about opening up the dialogue. And to be honest, mate, like I'd say 8, 9 times out of 10, they'll end up saying, yeah, look, hey, it's just not working. I've got to go. It's just not working for me. Well, can I take that role over there? Can I go into that department over there? Can you help me train me in this area? Because I'm just really shit at this thing. And I think, again, man, after all the sciencey shit, all the HR, the employment law stuff, all the business strategy, branding strategy, marketing strategy, business is done with people. And so, man, have the person-to-person conversation.
Yeah, sorry, Jamie. I'm just someone's just messaged me saying, "Hey, I've been sending comments and you haven't responded to me." So, what up, Matt? Thank you for jumping on. There it is. That's why, because you're on a different stream, my man.
Okay, you do that. You just read. I'm gonna hit Donna. Employment contract was drafted by my lawyer to make sure I started out correctly. Yeah, nice work, Donna. And maybe your lawyer's a friend or whatever, but there are HR consultants out there that are generally more economic and affordable than lawyers. I think lawyers can sometimes overcomplicate things. Check out my HR. Who knew of my HR? I think it was Marilyn. Oh, it might have been you, Donna. Yeah, okay, cool. Anyway, so you're sorted. The cursor is back. Oh, is that me?
That's me. That's me fishing around trying to find Matt's comments. Matt, I can only I can only see. Hey, he was saying, "What's up? Glad to be on." And then he said something about Collab software to keep everyone plugged in. Oh, right, yeah. So he's talking about with your team, making sure that like Trello, right? Because we smashed the shit out of Trello, don't we?
Well, I do. Do you even know how to log into Trello? Our culture is use motherfucking Trello, motherfucker. Are you a good fit for this organization?
Is it? Come on, man.
No, I'm joking. I'm exaggerating. But hey, does Jamie, Marilyn, Donna? Hey, man, it's been good yarning with you guys. Do you guys want to have any other final comments before we wrap up and stuff like that? Was there anything from Matt?
That was just what he was saying, yeah. And then he just said, hey, he's glad to be on. He's got some new gangster headphones. I'm actually running some new headphones tonight. Well, new old headphones tonight too. So,
Oh, straight up, dude. When they start with the implants, man, I'm just gonna get this shit implanted in my head. Eh?
what about the eye thing? So you can see the internet.
Yep.
That
Yep. All of it. Yep. As long as it, because I'm not a big fan of Bluetooth and 5G and radio waves and all that kind of. What's it?
A friend of mine's actually losing her hearing, and it's already done. She's got a hearing aid that goes straight to her phone.
Yeah, man. Like I'm just gonna do it. It's just Donna loves Trello.
Elon Musk was talking about it, where you could just like have some sort of a chip or something, and then in your eyes you could see the internet and Google stuff. And
100 million %. I think they're already trialing it, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
Peter Diamandis. If you're into tech and stuff like that, Peter Diamandis is the guy to follow because he talks to all of those guys. Yeah. Okay, cool. Look, I think there's no more comments. Jamie, man, I'm quite keen. I'm curious about you, Jamie. I mean, would we get Jamie on the show? I'd love to just interview him and talk about his story and what he's.
Let's get him
to
jump into the DMs and we'll have a chat with him, man. That'd be the go.
Yeah. Marilyn, I was wanting to know where the strategy papers you were talking about are. I couldn't find them. What strategy papers? Me? Was that me or Nick?
Yeah, more context. All right, John.
Okay. Do you want to do a Biz Shiz update?
Yeah, no, that's you. I did it last time.
Oh, okay. You know what's interesting, actually? True Divi, that's so good.
That's collab software.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'll just move on to the Biz Shiz update, and Nick will grab your guys' comments. Yeah, so the Biz Shiz update. You know what I like about what we've done with our business strategy, right? There's still a million tactics. We still got to get better at the post. We got to get better lighting and sound and all that kind of tactical. Well, it's not even tactical, man. It's just fucking detail shit, which Nick and I are both not good at, by the way. We're kind of big picture people. And that's the other thing we didn't talk about team, right? Is the different profiles or personalities that you need. And there's about 8. But anyway, man, that's what I mean. All these topics, it's just so big,
I mean,
man.
we've just got weeks and weeks of this to go yet.
Yeah, right. And we just jam, man. And that's the thing. Jamie, Marilyn, Donna. If you guys are happy, man. Sarah Ferguson. Let's just come in and yarn. But the business update. Anyway, what we did is look. We both got a little bit sick, but this guy's been sick for quite some time. I think life got a bit busy. In terms of, I guess business coaching is going pretty well at the moment. I don't know if you're feeling that in the market, but it just feels like people know what they want, right? The ones that go to the gym, like they wanted to go to the gym after lockdown, they go to the gym.
Yeah.
They grow their business. They do their marketing. They get that website sorted. They hire those people. They fire those other people. And they're just getting shit done. And as a business coach, I'm really enjoying that. I love that, when people know what they want. We can brainstorm and soundboard about things, and they can go away feeling clear and confident and execute. So anyways, what we've done is we've kind of put things on hold a bit, right? Because our next big thing is kind of, Biz Squads.
Yeah.
And so this podcast, right, is or show is just kind of us jamming. Again, just giving a forum or an opportunity for business owners just to talk real business. And practical stuff without all the fucking ebooks. And the click funnels and all that cheesy 3 mistakes this and 5 solutions to this and all that kind of stuff. And then we want to start Biz Squads, right? Because that's
So I want to throw it out there. How about Jamie, Donna, and Marilyn? How about would you guys be keen to jump in to do a trial with us over a period of say a month or 3 weeks as a Biz Squad? That'd give us 3. We probably need 2 more, but that'd be a good place to start. So let's
grab Sarah Ferguson. Okay, invitation. Here's the invitation.
Yeah, there you go. So
you guys want to get together
and Matt, who's watching on the other channel, we'll throw Matt in there. He's got that'd be 5 of them. So that'd be great. So it'd be once a fortnight. Yeah, for an hour or an hour and a half. Yep, and we can just jam on business stuff. And it's private, it's confidential. We can really get into things then, right? Obviously, whereas here is a bit more of an open forum, public forum. Yeah, all right, sweet. So look like a couple of them are keen.
Details.
So I guess we'll send you guys.
Nick's gonna DM you.
Thanks, bro. At least, do you know why?
Empowering you to do your life's best work.
Because I know how to do it, and he's got no idea.
No. I don't even know how to do a DM. But yeah, Biz Squads, right? Basically, so we kind of put that on hold, right? We're kind of thinking around some wouldn't call them marketing campaigns, but ways that we could kind of invite people to join them. And our first thing really is we're just going to run some trials, right? We're just going to run some. If you want to get together with 5 other business owners, with Nick and myself, so 7 in total, talk about a challenge that we're facing in the business, and get perspective not just from 2 dudes, but from the whole group.
The whole group, yeah. That's
right.
The power
and
of
we
it.
tap
That's
into
the
that
power of
synergy.
it.
Yeah. Then you've got a little squad, right? Can you PM details to Marilyn as well? Then you've got a whole squad of people, right? And in small business, we don't necessarily have boards of directors or even advisory boards or even paid business coaches sometimes. But man, if you can just build a squad of other business owners who really get it, who know what, paying employees more than they pay themselves feels like, and their balls are on the line all day, every day, and they've got to do the invoicing, they've got to do the marketing, they've got to do the sales, they've got to do the leadership, as well as kind of get the products and services out the door. Man, it's just massive, and nobody gets it. Nobody gets it, right? My spouse doesn't get it. My kids don't get it. My mates don't get it. The rugby guys don't get it. So if you want that in your life, hit us up and we'll just run some trials, man. And if it's of value, cool. If it's not,
cool.
Sorry that you wasted an hour and a half of your life and that you never get back.
All right. Does that mean I get to do the closing comment tonight?
Yeah.
And I do want to bring it back to our topic of human resources and hiring and firing and all the rest of it. Really, it's just the biggest thing that I'm going to say about this is understand who and why you're bringing people into your business, and if you understand that and really can convey to them the outcome of your business, they will buy in and they will make a big difference within your business. So it's high level, and I know it sucks because we always talk strategy and but honestly, if you can get that bit right, you're going to get buy-in and it's going to be so much easier. Anyway, guys, it's been awesome jamming with you guys. We've stretched it out. We're way over time. We're going to DM all those people that are on there. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week at 8 p.m. on Tuesday.
Enjoy business, people.